All right, good afternoon, my sisters and my brothers. Ms. Brown, do we have copies of the calendar? They're going to be on the screen. All right, my sisters and my brothers, we're going to begin to take a look at the 6th Episcopal District calendar. They'll be passing it out as we go along. All right, my sisters and my brothers, you'll be getting the calendar passed out, but we'll go ahead and start. All right, July the 6th. Oh, I'm sorry, before we do that, we do have a candidate here present who aspires for Episcopal service, who wants to serve as one of the bishops of the church. Do we have a microphone for him? This is the Reverend Orlando Mccauley. He aspired to one of the bishops of the church. We're going to have the General Conference in the city named after him. Reverend Mccauley, come and address the 6th Episcopal District.
Thank you, my bishop. How you doing, sir? I'm well, sir. Greetings, everybody. How everybody doing? Let me greet our Episcopal Supervisor, Supervisor Christy Davis, Esquire, and to these council or presiding elders here present, to the pastors, brothers and sisters of the clergy, to you, the members of the organized lay organization, that includes the YAI, the REA, the YPD, the Sons of Allen, and of course our dynamic WMS. And to all of you, my brothers and sisters, I greet you with the joy of the Lord that is my strength. Bring you greetings from the nation state of South Carolina, where the Right Reverend Samuel Lawrence Green Sr. is the Episcopate, and Supervisor Nadine Green is our Episcopal Supervisor. My name is Orlando Morris Mccauley, Jr., originally from the 14th District, country of West Africa, Liberia. I've served for a lot of years now in the 7th Episcopal District, where I've been for 25 plus years. As a young man, my life has been greatly influenced by some of the profound leaders of our church tremendously. My life has been impacted by great leaders of our church. Some are now serving in the episcopates. Some among them are retired. Some have gone to be with the Lord. I've been privileged to serve on various committees on the General Board. I served for 3 quadrennia as a member of the Executive Committee that makes decisions for the General Board in the absence of the General Conference. And I was part of that decision-making body that granted Morris Brown the first $25 million. And each of us who were part of that committee, we were asked to vote nay or yea. And I voted because I felt Morris Brown was one of our premier and still is. And I thank God for this bishop through his ingenuity now that Morris Brown is live and well. Somebody say amen. I also serve as a member of the Statistics and Finance Committee. And in my role, we will make sure that Morris Brown, A.M.E. University, that I come from, Allen University that I graduated from, Turner Seminary that I attended for 4 years to earn 2 masters. Those schools got funding. I was also responsible to make sure that when this bishop served in the 20th Episcopal District, that we allotted money to make sure that he purchases a place for the Episcopal residents. All I'm trying to let you all know that I know about this church. I've been privileged to serve many decision-making body, secretary to the Commission on Global Witness and Ministry, being an advocate about the future of our church, a spokesperson for the 14th Episcopal District delegation for 3 quadrennia. I served on the General Board for 20 years. Brothers and sisters, I've been privileged to pastor congregations with no membership, using 5 persons, my wife and daughter included, and bringing that church to become the number 4 church on the annual conference level. Been privileged to be the first pastor, and where I serve now, St. Matthew A.M.E. Church. Been there for 3 years, going to 4. I inherited $250,000 of mortgage. I paid off in 18 months. I was responsible to elect the first black sheriff since Reconstruction in Dillon County, what I currently serve, south of the border between North and South Carolina. My ministry in the life of the church as a pastor has made me to see there's a need for us to change our church, not for the worse, but for the better. So I'm running on a platform called ABC, A for ascending, meaning taking the church to another level. We need to change the trajectory at which we fund our church. I believe that the church has a great resource, but I also believe if we change the way we fund our church, rather than depending on the local church, our church will sustain itself for the next 200 plus years. By that, we can invest into infrastructures and not depend solely on the local church. B, I believe we must build on what defines us to be a denomination that has a track record. We have a great congregations in most of our churches, but you and I, we agreed that we take members through the door and they take the back door because we don't have discipleship training in our churches. And as a bishop, I contend every Episcopal district, down to the presiding elder district, ought to have a quarterly training on evangelism and discipleship. We're taking members, but we don't know how to keep them. And it's a problem that affecting our connection to church all around. I travel extensively throughout the length and breadth of this connection to church. Thirdly, is the connectional part. We need to invest into millennials to make sure that they stay and belong to our church. They are leaving our churches. I'm a father of 4, 25-year-old daughter who's about now to go back to graduate school in London. 20-year-old son right here in Augusta, Georgia, just finished his finishing of his AIT. And I got a 17 and a 16 years old. Our children's perspective of the church is different from the way we were brought up. And if we don't have ministry that will help them to stay, they're going to leave our church. So I came by as a person who understands this church. I have pastor congregation with no membership, what it means developing and building infrastructure and leading the people to a place where they become empowered or becoming the first pastor in the district. I have done it all. And I come asking for your prayers but asking for your votes. I know this state. I live here for 4 years. You are good people. I'm not a regular Georgian, but I am a son who was trained, served as president of Turner Seminary Student Government, vice president for ITC. I know how good you are. I dined at your table of brotherhood. I sat in your living room, and you treated me like one of your sons. Now look at me for somebody from West Africa or from Columbia, South Carolina. You have been good to me. And I was told if I'm going to be elected as bishop in the A.M.E church, I got to pass through the Peachtree State. So I came to let Bishop Jackson know that I appreciate his friendship, but more so your hospitality. Won't you pray for me? Won't you help me be one of the bishops of the church? I believe this is a calling on my life. But as much as it's a calling, you got to help me to be elected. My ballot is 412, Orlando Mccauley. And as the bishop said, we're going to Orlando. Help me be elected in a city that gets my name. God bless you, and thank you so much. Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you so much, Reverend Mccauley. All right, now we have a quick video presentation. Are we ready? Cornelius, are we ready?
Yes, sir, we're ready, Bishop.
Thank you, Cornelius.
Greetings and God's blessing to Bishop Reginald Jackson, Supervisor Christy Jackson. We thank God for the 6th Episcopal District. My name is
They're going to make correction they need to do to it, but we'll go on with the calendar. July 6th to the 10th, 51st Quadrennial Session of the General Conference, the Orange County Convention Center, Orlando, Florida. July 11th and the 12th, the lay biennial in Orlando, Florida. The lay biennial will begin immediately following the close of the General Conference. July 20th to the 23rd, 2021, the 6th Episcopal District Leadership Congress at the Augusta Marriott Convention Center. September 8th to the 9th, Presiding Elders Retreat, Callaway Resort and Gardens, Pine Mountain, Georgia. September 18th, the 6th Episcopal District Lay Quarterly Meeting. It's where officers for the 6th Episcopal District Lay Organization will be elected. That's September the 18th. In Macon, Georgia. Brother Brown, you know where in Macon that's going to be? All right. September the 24th to the 26th, the 6th Episcopal District Ministers, Spouses, and PKs Retreat, a location to be determined. October 13th to the 15th will be the mid-year meeting of the 6th District, and it will be held at the Rainwater Center in Valdosta, Georgia. All right, December the 4th will be the 6th Episcopal District Christmas Fellowship. I believe that's going to be held in Byron, but we'll confirm that. February, is Dr. Green here? February 1st to the 3rd will be Turner Theological Seminary Founders Day. February 10th to the 12th, the 6th Episcopal District Founders Day, and it will be held in Savannah, Georgia. Now, the annual conferences, and please take a pen and mark down these changes. Originally on the calendar, we had the annual conferences being on Wednesday and closing on Friday. Last year, the annual conferences we held for 2 days. Next year, we're going to hold annual conferences. It'll be 3 days. Really, it'll still be 2 because we're going to ask the missionaries to go from 9 to about 1. And we'll start the evening. The opening service will be on that evening, but now we're going to move the annual conference from Monday to Wednesday. So the South Georgia Conference will be March 7th to the 9th. The South Georgia Conference will be March 7th to the 9th, and that will be hosted by the Valdosta South District. The Southwest Georgia Conference will be March 21st to the 23rd. It's hosted by St. Paul A.M.E. Church, and it's going to be at the Columbus Trade Center, I believe. August 4th to the 6th is going to be the Georgia Annual Conference. April 4th to the 6th. The Georgia Annual Conference that's going to be hosted by Pleasant Grove A.M.E. Church, and they will give us the site. All right. What last 2 days? All right. The last 2 dates I gave, March 21st to the 23rd, will be the Southwest Conference. April 4th to the 6th will be the Georgia Annual Conference. April 25th, 27th will be the Augusta Annual Conference. March 2nd to the 4th will be the Macon Annual Conference, and I believe that's going to be held at St. Paul. I was going to be right here. It's going to be here at the Macon Centralplex. That's going to be May 2nd to the 4th. May 16th to the 18th is going to be the Atlanta North Georgia Annual Conference, and it's going to be hosted by Turner Chapel. All right. And June 1st to the 3rd will be the 6th Episcopal District Planning Meeting, and it'll be hosted by the Macon East District. And it's going to be right here at the Macon Centralplex. All right, any questions on the calendar? Reverend Kimberly McMichael. No, in fact, the annual conference is now going to be, they're going to open on Wednesday. I'm saying about they're going to open on Monday, end on Wednesday. The missionary day will be Monday from 9 to about 1, and then the opening worship service will be that evening. Yeah, Monday evening. The opening worship service will be Monday evening at 7 o'clock. Yes, sir. The roll call will be on Tuesday morning. Okay, the roll call will be on the opening worship service will be Monday night. The roll call will be on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. All right, Dr. Gordon is happy. All right, any other questions on the calendar? What about Augusta? The date? The Augusta Conference is April 25th to the 27th. All right, any other questions on the calendar? Any other questions on the calendar? The lay witness service, if we go like we did this year, the lay witness service will still be on Sunday afternoon. Somebody called me? All right. The YPD will be on Saturday. The DMC will be Sunday. Sunday or Saturday, Ms. Brown? The DMC will be on Saturday. The lay service will be on Sunday afternoon at 4. The opening worship service for the annual conference will be on Monday night. We're going to have to make some adjustment with the Sons of Allen, but we'll work all that out and get that communicated to you. All right? All right. Now, for the annual conferences, presiding elders and pastors, we will again, each presiding elder district will do a video report. Each presiding elder district will do a video report. Each presiding elder district will have 40 minutes for its video report. Any question on that? All right, any questions on the 6th district calendar? What'd you say? The dates of the planning meeting for next year will be June 1st to the 3rd, here in Macon at the Centroplex Center. All right, any other questions on the calendar? All right. The Christian Education Congress for July of this year will be held the 20th to the 23rd will be the Leadership Congress. It'll be 2 weeks after the close. It'll be about 10 days after the close of the General Conference, and it will be held at the Augusta Marriott Hotel. All right. The information for the Christian Education Congress will be out before the end of the month. All the information will be by the end of the month. Each church is asked to register 5 adults at $75 and 5 children and youth at $25. 5 adults at $75, 5 children and youth at $25. Any questions relative to the Christian Education Congress? All right, the host conference would be the Augusta Conference. The host presiding elder district would be the Augusta South. The host church would be Bethel Augusta. All right. Annual conferences 2022. All right. For the South Conference, the host is the Valdosta South District. Presiding Elder Brinson, you want to say anything to us about that? Is it going to be at the Rainwater? All right, it'll be at the Rainwater Center. All right. Southwest Conference, the host church is St. Paul in Columbus. Reverend Gordon, you want to say anything? The Georgia Conference, the host church is Pleasant Grove. Is Elder Mathis, you want to say anything? Is Judge Morse here? Oh, I didn't see the judge. He's not in the judge's uniform today. Campus of who? All right, it'll be on the campus of Pleasant Grove. All right. The Augusta Conference. Wren's Chapel's Reverend Shakibi Holman here. You want to say a word about the Augusta Conference? Where's it going to be? At the Augusta Marriott. All right. The Macon Conference, you know, is going to be at the Macon Centraplex. All right. Anything else you want to say on that, Elder Wicker? All right. And the Atlanta North Georgia Conference is Pastor Bright here. Anything you want to say? Where'd you say it's going to be? Oh. It could be a convention center. All right. All right. Any questions? Now, let me say this. With the exception of Turner Chapel, I believe the rest of them are going to be held at hotels. Is that correct? I mean, with the exception of Georgia and Atlanta North, they would be held at hotels or conference center. So we need to get the information out as soon as possible so people can make their hotel accommodations. There we go. Now, if the conference is at the hotel or the convention center, well, matter of fact, all the conferences, for meals, well, let me back up and say this. Reverend Bright, are you going to feed the delegates at the church, or is the meals on their own? All right. Judge Morris, are they on their own, or meals going to be at the church? All right. Now, Elder Brinson, for the South Conference meals, will they be on their own? All right. Pastor Gordon? All right. All right. All right. Augusta? Reverend Holman? Y'all want consultation too? All right. Macon Conference? All right. All right, very good. All right, Founders Day is going to be in Savannah. Elder Mathis, you have any details on what y'all going to do? Oh. All right, what she said was they don't have the details yet. We have the microphones in case anybody has a comment. They'll bring you the microphone. All right. Is Dr. Green here? All right, he did not come in yet. All right, thank you so much. Any other questions either on the calendar, the Leadership Congress, or the annual conference? Any questions? Yes.
Will women in ministry have an annual day or service during annual conference?
Yes. It will be as it was this year, to be on Tuesday night. All right. All right. Now, my sisters and my brothers, all right. Now, Ms. Brown, do we have the Episcopal District budget here? Okay, they don't have it for the screen. All right. All right, thank you so much. Now, my sisters, my brothers, we're going to try to see if you can get a copy of the budget. Before we do that, let me say this. At the Founders Day last year, we had some discussion relative to a couple of boundary issues, and we resolved and concluded making a recommendation, which we put in legislation to the General Conference on boundaries, and I believe it included not all, but most of the churches in the South Georgia Conference being placed in the Southwest Conference. Now it's my hope that when we go to the General Conference, since it's our legislation, that in fact we will support it. And the reason I bring that up is because if it is approved, you will notice tomorrow you will vote on a draft of the budget, which is a one-year budget. Rather because ordinarily the budget that is approved for a quadrennium. It would be a one-year budget, and that is for the land of the giants. Great day. All right. What was I? The budget is 1 year because of two things. One, the General Conference, we do not yet know what the budget will be that comes from the General Conference. However, the budget is going to be the same as it was for this quadrennium, or it would be with the 25% reduction, which the General Conference approved, which the General Board approved for this year due to the pandemic. And so once that budget is approved, then the Episcopal District Budget Committee will present another budget to the 6th district for approval. Number two, we would need to wait to see if the General Conference approves the boundaries report from the 6th district, because if that is approved, then that will impact the budget of the South Conference and the Southwest Conference, because a large number of churches which are currently now in the South Conference on the Donaldsonville West District will be changed to the Southwest Conference. All right? And so that will require changes in the budget. Any question relative to that? Yes. There is a list of the churches that will go to the Southwest Conference. I don't think there's a diagram of the map, but again, if you just have the churches, I'm not sure the map diagram is important, but if you have the list of the churches, that I think we do have. Yeah, we have a copy of that in office, and we will provide that. Okay.
Bishop?
Yeah, Elder Bass?
Yes, sir. When they do the boundary again, and if the Southern District...
Elder Bass, let me ask you to take the mask off so they can hear you.
Yes, sir, Bishop. If the boundary committee put the Southern District back on the Southwest, that would only change the budget with the presiding elder's district, but not with the Episcopal District, right?
That's correct.
Okay. The money will follow the district.
Yeah, let me repeat again the process for the budget. The connection of budget is approved by the General Conference. The General Conference, then the Commission on Statistics and Finance, then divides up the connection of budget between districts 1 through 14 according to the strength of the Episcopal districts. For example, the Episcopal district that pays the largest general budget is the 2nd district. Following the 2nd district is the 1st district. All right, and it goes down in terms of the order of the ranking, and that's the percentage that each Episcopal district gets, districts 1 through 13. So once they give to the 6th district the amount of the connection of budget that we pay right now, the 6th Episcopal district pays $349,000 4 times a year. So that means that for the year, the 6th district pays $1,396,000. And so that $1,396,000 is then divided or allotted to the 6 annual conferences in the 6th district on the basis of the strength of each annual conference. In other words, whatever the percentage of the membership of the 6th district each annual conference has, that's how you determine what the budget of that annual conference is. For example, in the 6th district, the largest conference membership-wise is the Atlanta North Georgia Conference. I don't recall right off what percentage Atlanta has, but they're number 1. Number 2 is Macon. Number 3 is the South Conference. Now, if the boundary proposal passes, then South Conference will no longer be number 3. But the way it is now, South Conference is number 3. Number 4 is the Georgia Conference. Number 5 is the Augusta Conference. And number 6 is the Southwest. Is that right, Dr. Foster? All right. And so then when each annual conference gets its percentage of the connectional budget, it is then divided according to the presiding elder districts and according to the strength of each presiding elder district. For example, in the Atlanta North Georgia Conference, I believe number 1 is Atlanta East. Is that correct? Elder Best, is Atlanta East the largest district in Atlanta North? Okay. Okay, so then it would be Atlanta North, then Atlanta East, then Atlanta South, and then Atlanta West, based on that percentage. And the Macon Conference is Macon East, then Macon North, Macon South, and then Macon North. And the Augusta Conference is Augusta South, and then Augusta North. And the Georgia Conference, it's Georgia North, Georgia South, and then Georgia Central. Is that right, Elder Mathis? South is first? South, North, and Central? All right, who's elder on the South? Oh, you pay more than the North? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, very good. Then in the Southwest, it's the East and then the Central. All right, and in the South Conference, Valdosta South, Albany North, and then Donaldsonville West. Is that correct? All right. All right, then on the presiding elder district, is then divided up among the churches on each district. And there's a percentage, or a formula rather, where each local church's percentage is arrived at. And I would encourage the presiding elder to begin now arranging the churches in the order of their strength on your district, because it should be done at the beginning of every quadrennium. Now understand, this time around we're really dealing with a triennial, because we're only dealing with 3 years as opposed to 4 years. All right? Any question on any of that? Any question? All right. Now, elders, did all the elders adjust the churches this current beginning of this current quadrennium? All right. All right, very good. Now, from the presiding elder district planning meetings, you are to present the following to the office: the ranking of the churches on your district, and a sheet with all the churches on your district and the amount that each church pays for the connectional budget, the 6th district budget, and the presiding elder's compensation. All right, please have all that in by September of 2021. Be said by the presiding elder's retreat. All right. President Green, do you have the date for Turner's Founders Day for this coming year? I had February 1st and 3rd, is that correct?
Yes, Bishop, it's February the 7th and the 8th.
All right, Turner Seminary's Founders Day is February the 7th and the 8th. All right, thank you, Dr. Green. Now, brothers and sisters, let me give you an update on Morris Brown College. When this quadrennium began, Morris Brown College lost its accreditation in 2002. And Morris Brown College had gone 18 years, up to now it's gone 18 years without accreditation. And I want to thank all of my predecessors before me, and I believe that's from Cummings, DeVoe, and Williams. I want to thank each of them because even though Morris Brown College lost its accreditation, the doors of Morris Brown College never closed. Morris Brown College stayed open. And so I want to thank them for keeping the doors of Morris Brown College open. I want to give also a special word of appreciation and thanks to Dr. Stanley Pritchett, who served as the president of Morris Brown College. And they served under some extremely difficult circumstances. They served under some extremely difficult circumstances. Because the fact of the matter is, they had, in the words of the scriptures, try to make brick without straw. Without accreditation, Morris Brown College students could not receive financial aid. And when I was a student at Turner Seminary, Morris Brown College had the largest student enrollment in the Atlanta University Center. Morris Brown College had the largest student enrollment in the Atlanta University Center. For the years Morris Brown did not have its accreditation, Morris Brown had less than 50 students. And Morris Brown College struggled. And so I want to express appreciation also to the faculty of Morris Brown, because during that time, many times Morris Brown faculty went without getting paid. They worked without getting paid. And when they did get paid, they received salaries which were absolutely below the average college professor's compensation. So they made a great personal sacrifice on behalf of Morris Brown College. I also want to give an extreme word of appreciation to the 6th Episcopal District, because the fact of the matter is, without the 6th Episcopal District, Morris Brown College would not have been able to keep its doors open. From 2002 to the present, the 6th District has provided for Morris Brown College about between $7 to $9 million. And it required a great amount of sacrifice on the part of the churches, the clergy, the laity of the 6th Episcopal District. So I think you ought to give yourselves a hand. In addition to that, when I came to the 6th District, one of the things I was constantly confronted with, why are we still giving money to Morris Brown College? and there were some who advocated shutting down Morris Brown College. Morris Brown College is sponsored by the Atlanta North Georgia Conference. The final decision on whether Morris Brown College stays open or closed is not a decision made by the Board of Trustees of Morris Brown College. The ultimate decision on whether Morris Brown College opens or closes rests with the Atlanta North Georgia Conference. The Atlanta North Georgia Conference is the sponsoring body of Morris Brown College. Morris Brown College was founded in the basement of Big Bethel Church on Auburn Avenue. I am very pleased to report today on the progress that Morris Brown College has made. About a year and a half ago, Morris Brown College changed presidential leadership, and the Board of Trustees selected Dr. Kevin James, who had formerly been with 100 Black Men of America, and made him the president of, I believe he's the ninth president, of Morris Brown College. A young, energetic brother who has done an outstanding job as a president of Morris Brown College. And so for the first time in years, every single dollar of debt that Morris Brown College owes has been paid. Morris Brown College was in debt to the A.M.E. Church to the tune of over $4 million. We were able to work out an agreement with the A.M.E. Church where that $4 million debt is no longer on the books of Morris Brown College. And as part of that agreement, Morris Brown College has agreed that it will provide college education to any A.M.E. student, and I must emphasize any A.M.E. student who chooses to go to Morris Brown College will be able to go tuition free. I'm also pleased to report that Morris Brown College is now comes under TRACS, the Transnational Accreditation Organization, and I'm very pleased to report that on April 18th, I believe it was, TRACS approved Morris Brown College as a candidate for accreditation. So it's our expectation that by the end of this year or the first part of next year, Morris Brown College will in fact have regained its accreditation. I'm also pleased to report that on Tuesday, Morris Brown College was notified that any student who is accepted at Morris Brown College can now, and I'm going to emphasize can now be a student who is eligible to receive financial aid. We are also in discussions with the City of Atlanta, with Mayor Bottom's office, and in consultation with Atlanta Clark University, where some of the property that went back to Clark College through the I'm trying to think of the term. Dr. Foss, you remember, Dr. Foss, Dr. Easton, y'all remember the name of that term with Clark College? Reversionary, thank you. Reversionary clause. Clark Atlanta had a reversionary clause because the property, much of the property that Morris Brown sits on belonged to Clark University. Clark University allowed Morris Brown to have the property as long as the property is used for educational purposes. And so when Morris Brown lost its accreditation through the reversionary clause, much of that property went back to possession of Clark Atlanta University. We are now in the process of discussion with the city and with Clark Atlanta University, and I should put in there Invest Atlanta, in the process of getting much of that land given back to Morris Brown College. And finally, let me add that Morris Brown College is in the process of approving Hilton Hotel. We'll build a hotel on the campus of Morris Brown College. It will be part of Morris Brown College's hospitality curriculum. And as part of that hotel, the Hilton Hotel will give $3 million to Morris Brown College. And Morris Brown College will receive we don't yet know how much, but each year, Morris Brown College will also receive funds from the Hilton Hotel. The Hilton Hotel will hire students from Morris Brown College who are part of the curriculum major students to work at the hotel, which means it will also provide jobs. So I'm just pleased Morris Brown has come a major way. And also, I have an idea why they did it. I'm not going to quibble with them, but we were under some discussion about the possibility of a boycott with Chick-fil-A. But Chick-fil-A last week, they're going to give Morris Brown College $500,000 a year. I think that might have been part of them trying to say we want to stay away from that. But anyway, $500,000 a year from Chick-fil-A. All right, any questions regarding Morris Brown College? Any questions regarding Brian Hart, Reverend Hart?
Thank you, Bishop. And first, let me thank you and give you kudos for the pivotal role that you played for Morris Brown College. And I'm sure all of us who went to Morris Brown College share those sentiments. Two quick questions. The first, you mentioned A.M.E. is going to Morris Brown for free. Is that in Georgia or is that connectional-wise?
That's connectional.
Okay. Then the second question is, you touched on part of my concern, the reacquiring of property, okay? And I am very glad that Morris Brown's reaching out to the Latino community, bringing in esports. They're doing a lot of progressive things, which is good. Do you know which properties are in question as far as being reacquired, like not Griffin High Tower, but the one on Sunset and Sarah Allen Quadrennial? Which properties are you referring to that might be reacquired?
Yeah, let me diplomatically answer that. There have been several properties mentioned in the discussion, and we've been asked not to discuss which specific properties publicly, and that's for legal reasons. So let me say, our intention is to try to regain those structures which would provide dormitory space for the college. The specific ones I can't name only because, let me say, the reason we can't name is because Clark Atlanta University is having some legal problems as relates to finances, some of those properties are going through some legal process. So that's why we can't name them because of that. But, and matter of fact, that's one of the things which the city is using as leverage to help regain those properties. And so I can't name which ones, but let me simply say they're properties which would provide dormitory accommodations for Morris Brown students. And let me say that that's important because, and most people don't know this, even without accreditation, Morris Brown College continues to have the largest number of students to apply. For example, last year, Morris Brown had over 4,000 people to apply for Morris Brown College. Over 4,000. It's only when they realized that they could not get financial aid that they went someplace else. So I suspect that when the word gets out that Morris Brown College students can now get financial aid, you're going to see a tremendous number of people apply to Morris Brown. And in fact, when the word gets out that A.M.E. students will be able to go to Morris Brown College tuition free, you're going to have, and which is my biggest fear. My biggest fear for Morris Brown is we will have so many students that we do not have housing accommodation for them. So that's the biggest problem facing Morris Brown now. Dr. Green.
Bishop, I don't have a question, but I do want to commend you as the chair of the Board of Trustees of Morris Brown College, the president, Dr. James, and the members of the Board of Trustees for the excellent job that you all have done in reviving the Morris Brown College. I also want to congratulate the school on the beautification of the campus, and I want to invite the district, if you have not had a chance to pass by Morris Brown College, you will see a vibrant, alive, beautified campus. A lot of work is going on at the campus. When I pass by the campus on my way to the ITC campus, I am just excited about what is happening at Morris Brown College. So I do want the district, if you get a chance to come down Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, to see the new Morris Brown College. Congratulations, Bishop.
Thank you.
On a job well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, sir. Dr. Pearson.
Thank you, Bishop Jackson. Again, as a part of the Alumni Association, as an alumnus of Morris Brown, I could not let Dean Green stand and give you words of commendation without a graduate asking that all of the graduates of those who have attended Morris Brown, if you would stand with me and give Bishop Jackson a round of applause for the work that he's done. And I say that as a graduate of Morris Brown, we say that. We thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Excuse me just 1 minute, please.
Greetings and God's blessing to Bishop Reginald Jackson, Supervisor Christine Jackson. We thank God for the 6th Episcopal District. My name is William Campbell, and I am a candidate for Executive Director of Global Witness and Ministry, going global with the gospel. Why? First of all, because I'm a missionary. I wear my associate's pin with great joy and pride. I got it honestly. My mother also was a life member, and I still keep her soul to keep the fires of mission burning. Second reason is because this is what I am doing and have been doing for 40 years. 40 years ago, this coming July, 40 years and 4 passports, we had our first mission trip to Jamaica, and the fire struck. 27 countries later, 4 passports later, millions of miles later, we have been blessed to serve and share the gospel on several continents. Also launched the first A.M.E. church in Kenya, which is now 15 churches, helped to plant the church there in Nakuru. And so we are growing globally as well as locally. Here in our local area, feeding tens of thousands of people, not just the Word of God, but also bread and PPE supplies. We are building partnerships and forging that all around the world. From the days of my freshman life at Morehouse College, the days of working in the office one day at Flipper Temple for the late Julius C. Williams, what a journey it has been, and it brings me back to Georgia. Can't do it without you. William Campbell, Executive Director, Global Witness and Ministry. God bless you, and thank you for this opportunity to share.
All right, that was Dr. William Campbell from the 2nd District, and he couldn't be here, so he sent his campaign promo to us. Thank you so much. All right, now I was getting ready to say something before I remember what it was.
One last question. We're excited about the future of Marsh Brown, and you might not know the answers, but at what point do you think we might be able to start putting the extracurricular activities that Marsh Brown is known for together? You know, the sports teams, the marching Wolverines, the bubbling brown sugar, you know.
Sports team and who?
Well, those from Marsh Brown know what I'm talking about. So.
Oh. Well, let me say this. They are putting in place a strategic plan for Morris Brown. And let me add that one of the properties that you did ask about is, in fact, the stadium. And let me say again to the president's credit, and Morris Brown has a really tremendous board. Morris Brown College has an awesome board of trustees today. I want to thank Dr. Foster and Dr. Eason, are members of that board, but they're also finding funding sources to do a lot of the stuff on the campus. And so I'm hoping that, say, within 2 years, and I think it's going to take 2 years for Morris Brown to rehab its football team, its basketball team, its marching band. So that's the strategic plan. And let me also add the building across the street next to Friendship Bath. What was the name of that building? The physical education building? Okay, well, John Lewis Gymnasium. I have a strong suspicion that property is going to be coming back to Morris Brown as well. So that's the strategic plan they're putting together now. Let me also add, because for those of you who are alumnus of Morris Brown, I do hope you will participate in this And as well as I know her name, it just slipped my mind. Who was the academic dean, Dr. Foster? Yeah, Gloria Anderson is retiring. And at the homecoming for next year, the college is giving a major event in recognition and appreciation for her service. I think she's been in Morris Brown about 50 years, isn't it? And so I hope the alumni will come and support that, be a part of that. Okay, somebody else had a question? Yes.
Congratulations again, Bishop, with Morris Brown. I'm an Albany State alumni. My member is asking, what do they need to do to apply as an A.M.E. student? Go online and apply, and then also put that they are A.M.E. so that they can take part in the free tuition. Yeah,
they will apply, but the college will be sending out information on that through all of the Episcopal districts, to be in the Christian Recorder, all of our publications on how you go about doing that. And I want to again encourage all of our students who can to apply to Morris Brown College. I think that would be a tremendous blessing to them, and save them some money. All right, any other questions relative to Morris Brown College? All right. All right, thank you so much. Now, my brothers and sisters, I want us to go over the members of the 6th Episcopal District Budget Committee. Would you please stand? All right, and if one of y'all would get a microphone, do y'all have a copy? All right, if one of y'all have a copy and somebody get them a microphone. And Dr. Ephraim, you look like you're a great reader. If you will read the income, now what this is the proposed budget for the 6th District for July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. If you will read the income, and then we'll get somebody else to read the expenditures.
Bishop Jackson and Supervisor Jackson, to the members of the Georgia delegation, the 6th Episcopal District budget, July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022. Income, connectional budget, $1,309,770,000. SEC budget, $1,631,880. WMS 40,000, lay 10,000, minister spouses 5,000, women in ministry 2,000, sons of Allen 3,000, offerings 25,000. Total income of $3,026,650.00.
All right, that's the projected income. Somebody wants to, who's going to read the, if you want to read on Dr. Ephraim or whoever, how y'all do it?
My land. Connectional assessments, the connectional budget, $261,954,000.
That should be times 3.
Times 3. Totals $1,309,770. Episcopal District Office Administration. You see it there before you. Residential housing, 7,000 times 12 for 72,000. Administrative staff, 8,000 times 26, 208,000. Office lease, 8,000 times 12, 96,000. Legal and professional fees, 10,000 times 12, 120,000. Telephone, 175 times 12, $2,100. Internet, 275 times 12, $3,300. Remote security, $40 times 12, $480. Parking, $750 times 12, $9,000. Health insurance, $6,000 times 12, $72,000. Printing, $500 times 12, $6,000. FICA, $3,000 times 4, $6,000. Office supplies, $3,500 times 12, $42,000. Travel. Did I get that right? No?
That should be accommodations next.
Office supplies, 500 times 12, 6,000. I stand to be corrected. Travel, 3,500 times 12, 42,000. Accommodations, 4,250 times 12, 51,000. Insurance, 3,500 times 12, 42,000. Total Episcopal District administration, $741,880 and no cents. 6th Episcopal District ministry expenses, global overseas work, 50,000. Turner Seminary, 250,000. Morris Brown College, 240,000. Scholarship high school grads, 50,000. General Conference, 175,000. Contingencies, 100,000. 6th Episcopal District ministry expenses totaling $865,000. Total expenditures, $2,916,650. Total income, $3,026,650. Total expenditures, $2,916,650. Net, total net, $110,000.
All right, you heard the presentation of the draft of the budget. It's open for any discussion. Any discussion or motion? Yes, sir.
Ephraim seconds the motion.
All right, you've heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? Any unreadiness? All right, all in favor say aye. Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so very much. Now remember, this budget is for 1 year because depending upon the connection of budget passed by the General Conference and depending upon what the General Conference does with the boundaries legislation we've submitted, it will bring about some adjustments. Let me also say that this 6th district budget, in terms of what it asks for, is less than last year's budget. Last year's budget, the askings was $3 million something. The askings this year at $2,916,000. All right, Reverend Alexander.
Those figures, please, sir.
We would get them for you. We don't have them today, but we'll get them for you.
Thank you.
And what I would suggest you do in the meantime, take your phone there, click a picture. Oh, I knew you had it. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so very much. All right. Dr. Green, you want to say anything about Turner Seminary before we move forward? All right. Thank you so much. Now, brothers and sisters, let me say this. I'm very pleased with the progress that Morris Brown College has made. And let me simply say that as much as, people talk about the fact of the matter is the new president, the board of trustees, And I want to say the Alumni Association and really the 6th District are the ones who have done a tremendous job in bringing Morris Brown back. And I'm just pleased because, and when you talk about history, Morris Brown College, when it is finally accredited, Morris Brown College will have done what no other college in the history of the United States of America has ever done. There is no other school which has lost its accreditation more than 10 years to regain its accreditation. So we thank God. And to show you, when people say, if God be for you, let me tell you how much God has been for Morris Brown. I was horrified, which is the best word I can come up with. We had made all of this progress at Morris Brown College. And then about 2.5 months ago, we received a letter from the Department of Education saying that Morris Brown College, even if it regained its accreditation, would not be eligible to receive financial aid. And we would not be able to receive financial aid because there is a law passed by the Congress that says if any college or university has applied for bankruptcy, they will no longer be eligible for financial aid. And that did not mean while you were in bankruptcy. That law meant forever. And fortunately, we were able to get some good lawyers. And what happened was, and to Morris Brown's credit, and one of the reasons why I am appreciative to all of my predecessors, because, you know, it's easy to criticize folk when you're not in the chair. But when you're in the chair, it's a horse of another color. But fortunately, we had some good lawyers, and those lawyers were able to show that when Morris Brown College applied for bankruptcy, it had already lost its accreditation. So legally speaking, Morris Brown College did not file for bankruptcy while it was an active college. And that really gave us the opening to be able to get the federal aid approved. And I just think that was just divine intervention on that part. Yes, ma'am. There's a personnel office. You contact the college. I forget what the number is. I mean, I don't know the number off my heart, but you apply there, and you'll be able to apply through the personnel office. All right. Yes, sir, Doctors Presiding Elder Smith and then Reverend Wading. Okay, Reverend Wading. Somebody get Reverend Wading there.
Bless you, Bishop. My question was, and I waited until we passed the budget. My question is, I heard you earlier explain how we fund the budget. Could you go back through that to explain how we fund the budget that we just passed?
Excellent question. The way we fund the budget just passed on the income. Connection of budget is the amount that each church pays to their presiding elder district to the conference. For the connection of budget, for example, is $1,309,770. You divide that by 4 quarterly. The connection of budget is paid, so that's how we get the $1,309,000. The 6th Episcopal District budget, the $1,631,880. Again, that's what every church pays twice a year for the 6th Episcopal District budget. The $40,000, that's the assessment to the WMS. The 10,000 is the assessments for the lay organization. 5,000 is for the spouses. 2,000 is for the women in ministry. 3,000 for the Sons of Allen. And offerings at the different meetings we have is the 25,000. That's where we get the $3,026,650. All right. Did everybody understand that? All right. Okay. Yes, sir, Elder Smith.
Yes, sir, Bishop. I'd just like to make an announcement for the newly established ministerial board. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, for all those members, the presiding elders and the new members of Ministerial Benevolence Board, we're going to meet upstairs at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Thank you so much. Any other announcements? Any other announcements?
Thank you so much. I would just like to announce that through this pandemic, through ITC, we came through and we will have a graduating class, and one of the graduates, June 19th at 1 p.m. Also want to thank Dean Green. Today at 11 o'clock, ITC had an awards ceremony, and numerous of people, to include myself, received an award, and it's through the generosity of the A.M.E. Church. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Congratulations. Dr. Baker.
Bishop, thank you so very much. Those pastors who are singing pastors, some of you have already been on a Zoom prior to this. We're asking those persons who are able to sing, we want to gather at 5 o'clock right here in this corner to formulate a choir for the banquet that will occur on Saturday, and that's 5 o'clock. Pastors who have been informed or been communicated with, would you please stand right now? Those pastors. All right. We do invite you to join if you're able to sing and to support the effort to make a pastor's choir for the Jackson Legacy Banquet. Thank you so very much.
All right, any other announcements? Rep. Logan.
Thank you, Bishop. Not an announcement, just a concern, and I've expressed this to you about the progress you've made in terms of social action, the various things that we've achieved collectively, the things you've led and spearheaded. One of my concerns is just to your point earlier today about setting goals and being intentional about the fact that there's a need for the continuation of our work. And
Dr. Logan, let me just rule you out of order. What
Okay.
I'm going to do tomorrow morning, during the morning session, I'm going to address and organize that and speak to the district about all that's been going on in the state. So that's why I moved the budget up for this afternoon, because I'll be doing that in the morning. All right. Any other? Yes.
My last question, and I might have missed it, so I apologize. You mentioned earlier about the 25% reduction for the connectional budget per se, all that. So has it been reapplied, or as we go into the new year, is it still enforced, the percentage?
The general board reduced the connectional budget by 25%. I believe it was for the second and third quarter. Is that right, Dr. Foster? For the first quarter. We will not know until the general conference whether or not the new budget they propose is going to reflect the 25% decrease, or whether or not the budget is going to go back to what it originally was for this quadrant. We won't know that till the general conference takes some formal action. The general board will be having a virtual meeting before the general conference because the general board has to approve a budget to present to the general conference. So we will have some idea we will have some idea from the general board meeting prior to the general conference what it's going to be. That's another reason why the budget's only for a year. Yeah, for the connection of budget, soon after the pandemic kicked in, we made a decision, or at least I made a decision, to cut the connection of budget by 50%. And what we did, we cut some items out of the budget so that the churches in the district only paid 50%. The 6th district took the other 50% out of the budget. So every church in the 6th district should have seen a 50% reduction in what they paid for the general, but they paid for the general budget. We will make that decision. We can't make that decision until after the general conference. Okay, and let me thank Reverend Wilder. Excellent question. The question was raised in terms of the budget we just approved about the delegates. That we would kick that in the budget we present after the general conference. But an excellent question. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Elder Roan? Correct. Correct. All right. Now, Reverend says, let me say this to you. One of the things I'm very sensitive to, and again, you've heard me say it before, I keep asking the Lord, don't let me forget what it was like to be a pastor. In the midst of the pandemic, it's been hard. And whatever you want to say, the person who bears the brunt of that is really the pastor. If the people don't give, the pastor can't report. And the one everybody looks at is not the folk in the congregation who didn't give. They look at the pastor. And so I am very, very sensitive to that. And one of the things is there is not a pastor in the 6th district who can say this bishop has pressured them on budget. And in this pandemic, I understand what it is. I very much understand what it is to try to deal with a budget for the local church, then a budget for the 6th district, then a budget for the connectional church. You have pastors who aren't being paid. You have elders who aren't being paid. I very much understand it's not easy. You see, and I say again to some of the people who sit in the pews, put yourself in the place of some of these pastors. It is not easy. It is difficult. It will make you lose sleep at night. All right, so I want us to be sensitive to that. I want us to be sensitive to that. You see, and again, I'm gonna say it again. This 6th district budget has not increased during these last 5 years. The connectional budget for this year was reduced by 50%. So I mean, and I think that's the stuff. We talk about a whole. A lot of people don't have nothing to talk about unless it's something bad, and we thrive off talking about bad stuff. But sometimes you ought to talk about the fact of the good things that have happened. And be frank with you, I think a lot of our congregations need to thank the pastors for the leadership they've given during this pandemic, because I think they've done a good job. Likewise, pastors ought to thank their congregations, because the fact of the matter is, while churches have been closed, congregants have kept on giving. They've kept on supporting their churches. And so it's nothing wrong with thanking the lay people. There's nothing wrong with lay people thanking their pastors. This year has been a brutal year. You see, but somehow, by the grace of God, we made it. So, all right, we're going, let me see the presiding elders up here for a few minutes. Presiding elders up here for a few minutes. Let me say tonight, we have service at 7 o'clock. We have a terrific preacher for the service tonight, the Reverend John Faison, a terrific young brother, terrific preacher from Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, an awesome preacher. So I want us here tonight for tonight's service. Be here tonight for tonight's service. You will have about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, we just ate lunch, so I don't know if y'all hungry again already, but if you are, carry on. All right? We are adjourned. I'll see you at 7 o'clock this evening. Elders, let me see you quickly.